We're not told about it.
Well, joining us right now, I'm afraid, I'm sure you've seen the introduction there, but joining us to discuss certain issues this morning is Major General John Enenche, who is the Director of Defense Information, and he's joining us in our Abuja studios, of course. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
Now, we have a number of issues to discuss this morning, and, top amongst them is this new thing we hear from Boko Haram members who say that they are tired of, fighting this war against, waging a war against the federal government. There seems to be some fatigue within the rank and file of Boko Haram members. How is the federal government, or how is the, armed forces taking advantage of this fatigue as claimed by Boko Haram members?
Thank you very much for that. We're actually not really taking advantage of it. We are following up because it is not unexpected. Based on the actions we had put in place in the past, the reinforcements and the reinvigoration of our actions going by the directives given by the then acting president and then the president commander-in-chief. So it is just a follow-up of the expected action, because we started with clearance operations, which is supposed to dovetail into dominating the whole area. And then we are now seeing the results. Now, when you want to dominate an area and you are clearing, what happens? You cut off lines of supply, line of communication, and then there is pressure on them from all the sectors that we have, sector 1, 2, and 3. No, you agree with me that the epicenter, their own epicenter, their own activity center in that Sambisa forest has been knocked off. And so the information we are getting, we are here to convert it into intelligence. We are not taking it at the surface level, because sometimes it might even be a decoy, to divert our attention. So professionally, we are handling it to ensure that what they are telling us is true intelligence, and that is the situation of things. But I would tell you that it's 60% closer to the truth that they are fatigued and
so
they are giving up.
It's not coming as a surprise to the
Nigerian
Nigerian
not as a surprise at all.
military, even though you say that this is not yet intelligence.
No, it's not yet intelligence.
Okay.
And that is why we are still processing it.
Okay. So assuming, when eventually, we hope that this will, eventually turn out to be true and will be converted to intelligence, how does the Nigerian military hope to take advantage of
what
the
we
fatigue
will
of Boko Haram
do
insurgents?
when they are fatigued like this, if it becomes intelligence, we now encourage them with all the actions put in place, particularly the Operation Safe Corridor, to come out and totally surrender. And what we will do is that, like we have done in the past, for the 96 that we already have with us, that we have rehabilitated, we are still some of them are still undergoing training. We bring them out to come out openly to speak to them, to talk to them through various mediums, to reach out to them. It has been done in the past. Then they will now have confidence that, look, when they come out and they surrender, yes, they will be treated humanely according to Geneva Conventions. And that is what we tend to do immediately. And then furthermore, we attempt to see how we can get some of the equipment that they still hold by way of, taking them over. There's a procedure for that. They have to hand them over, or we locate them. We carry out what is called a scorched-earth policy, destroy them in situ, or we deal with them otherwise, so that we can be sure that there is no equipment that will fall into any of a renegade one in the future.
Do we get the impression that amnesty is going to be, or has already been granted to Boko Haram insurgents?
It's not amnesty. You see, amnesty is a different thing altogether than what we talk about Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Safe Corridor is fashioned after law of armed combat, that once a combatant becomes an ex-combatant and surrenders, you treat him as such. That is what we are doing.
Which means
so
what?
Amnesty is more or less a political thing. It's not a military affair. It's not a military initiative.
Which means what? Give us a little more details on
it translates to the fact that, you see, it's something that is why the military profession, the laws of armed conflict, the Geneva Convention that binds all of us, which we are signatory to, is something that is not really normal in normal life. Otherwise, somebody that was your enemy, somebody that shot at you, that killed your colleagues, he will now tell you, I have surrendered. And the law says that you show him love. Let me use that, parlance, love. So there's nothing you can do about it. And all is geared towards what? Peace. Because two wrongs cannot make a right. So it is not amnesty. So all we are abiding by is law of armed conflict.